Hi everyone, we are Group 11. Our group members are Yan, Yu, Alan, Teresa, Ron, Wen, and me, Johnny. Today, we are going to introduce 4 international operation strategies. They are international strategy, multi-domestic strategy, global strategy, and transnational strategy. Before we get started, let's look at the graphic. We have 2 axes to divide those 4 strategies. The horizontal axis measuring local responsiveness and vertical axis measuring cost reduction, which perfectly shows their features. Local responsiveness is the degree of differentiation among the strategies followed by a certain company in every country in order to adapt the product to the local market. Cost reduction is the degree of cost advantage that the strategy gives to the company over the industry's rivals. After this, let's look at each strategy one by one. First of all, the international strategy. Basically, this strategy used exports and licenses to penetrate the global market. Companies using this strategy sell the same product to every country, which results in having little or even no local responsiveness. Also, they have low cost reduction because they use their existing production process at some distance from a new market. With low cost reduction and low local responsiveness, this strategy is the least advantageous one. However, international strategy is the easiest one to execute because it requires little change in existing operations, and licensing agreements often leave much of the risk to the licensee. This strategy is often used in manufacturing industry. Secondly, we are going to talk about multi-domestic strategy. This strategy views different areas as independent and different markets. Knowing that different markets have different needs, they try to meet different needs as possible as they can by having modification or creating special products for a certain area. This strategy has decentralized authority with substantial autonomy at each business by creating subsidiaries, franchises, or joint ventures with substantial independence. This strategy focusing on maximizing local responsiveness. Therefore, the operational decision of companies using this strategy are decentralized to local branches or outlets to enhance local responsiveness. However, it has little or no cost reduction. In the opposite, the global strategy doesn't care much about local responsiveness. This strategy focuses on cost reduction by standardization and generate economies of scale. Global strategy has a high degree of centralization, with headquarters coordinating the organization to seek out standardization and learning between plants, thus generating economies of scale, as we mentioned before. This strategy is often used in manufacturing industry. Finally, we are going to talk about transnational strategy. Transnational strategy exploits the economies of scale and learning, as well as pressure for responsiveness by recognizing the core competence that does not reside in just the home country, but anywhere else in the organization. Key activities in companies using this strategy are neither centralized nor decentralized. Instead, resources and activities are dispersed but specialized, so as to be both efficient and flexible in an interdependent network. In other words, transnational strategy has both high local responsiveness and high cost reduction. McDonald's is obviously using the multi-domestic strategy to provide suitable services and products in every different areas. McDonald's does some modification in menu or even create special products just for a certain area. For example, McDonald's in Spain provides Spanish frozen soup, a traditional Spanish food. McDonald's in French provides ham sandwiches and McBaguette. And McDonald's in Germany provides sausage burger and beer. For Taiwan, McDonald's has an activity called coin menu, 铜板轻松点. You pick one thing from the red area and the other from the white area as a set, and that only costs you 50 New Taiwan dollars. I think this activity is targeting teenagers because McDonald's in Taiwan is very popular in teenagers, but they don't have so much money. Teenagers can have a decent meal just cost 50 New Taiwan dollars with coin menu, which I guess will encourage them to go McDonald's more often. In conclusion, I think multi-domestic strategy and transnational strategy is good for our industry because we are tourism and leisure department students. We always have to know that different guests will have different needs according to their culture, their habits, and we have to fulfill them as possible as we can. Thanks for listening.